Hi everyone, it's Nancy back with another quick layout for you. This one took me just over half an hour. So here I am just going through my supplies using some bits from the Maggie Holmes flea market collection. I really love this kind of grey polka dot ombre with the yellow border, it's really nice. I'm using a photo here from 2012, it's of me and my best friend. So just inking up before I go. I'm using one of the bright pink dilution sprays on here. Just trying to get some bigger kind of ink spots on here. I do find that some of the misters on these don't drip as well as some of the others, but I think it's just there's a slight angle on the bottom of them. There I am, just adding my favourite Tattered Angels Route 66. I've actually discovered that is to say it's limited edition, but I can still buy it, so that's one of the things I'm going to buy once I've made my 30 layouts, because I really can't be without it. It's such a great mist. And here I am just adding some gold on as well, so I've got quite mist heavy on this layout. Going to put that over to the side to dry, because as I've said several times, still haven't found my heat gun. Okay, this like really floral piece of paper, I've decided that I'm actually going to cut apart. I'm actually going to cut some of the flower motifs out of it. I really like it, and I think I could use it as a background piece of paper, but I don't have any pictures that it would really go with. I think it'd look really nice with the photo. I think you could make it work, but I don't have any photos that go with it. Most of my photos that I'm scrapping at the moment are, I say, of holidays, so it doesn't really go. So I've decided to just cut some of the roses out. I don't actually follow the actual design accurately. I just kind of pick and choose what I want to cut out of it. Later on in the video I do cut out some of the more sort of finer detail bits, but I actually cut that out of the video because I realised this is actually quite boring watching someone cut out things. I do find it really therapeutic, and I do actually have a few papers in my stash put to the side for me to sit down one evening and just cut some of the design elements out of it. So my layout's still not 100% dry, so I'm going to grab a piece of tissue to just mop up some of it. It's the white that tends to take the time to dry because it's more of an opaque ink. So my photo is going to go up in that top right hand corner. Again, going with the rule of thirds. I think after I said the other day that I always seem to gravitate towards one corner, so I've tried to cluster in another corner. And this layout, as I said, was actually really quick to come together. If I'd already had those elements pre-cut, I think it would have taken me sort of 15-20 minutes, so it came together really quickly. So I'm layering up here a bit of, it's actually Dear Lizzie striped paper, and then I've got a bit of vellum, and then this is a grey piece that I used on a previous layout. I'm not sure what collection that's from. So here I am just placing on those cutouts, trying to work out how I'm going to cluster those around. This is a border strip. It is from the Maggie Holmes collection off another piece of paper, and the colours are identical to those in the flowers, so that worked out really well. So I'm just fiddling around as to where I'm going to put that. And again, I decide that to cut that up and spread that over the 3 parts, and I'm just cutting a small banner end in each of them. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you just heard me yawn there. I do apologise. So yeah, just cutting out one of the tags from the Maggie Holmes cut apart sheet. Still got a whole piece of this cut aparts, and I really like those. So there I am, just putting the middle out of that tag. I'm not actually going to thread any twine or anything through it. I think they just look better if they've got the whole punch through them. That's another of the Maggie Holmes cut apart pieces. The wording doesn't go with the picture, but I just wanted to. This is actually just a picture of one afternoon. I'd finished work a little bit early, so my bestie came down to the coffee shop, and so we just had a bit of a catch up and a bit of a natter. And we're quite renowned for taking lots of selfies when we're together. So, as I say, this one goes back to 2012. As I said, I'm actually working on my 2012 Project Life album because I didn't finish. I got to August and then I didn't actually finish any more of it. And after doing it finishing my 2013 one nearly, I really love it. And the 2012 first part is finished as well, so I really want to just get it done, get it finished. So that is my aim. I really need to start on 2014, but I'm actually really in the mood to do 12x12 scrapping at the moment, rather than pocket pages. Okay, so here I am just sticking the layers down. And as you see, I'm just using that other little bit of the border strip at the bottom there just to bring that colour down. I'm playing around with that tag, trying to decide where to put it. And I actually end up moving it over to the other side, so that just means there's a little bit of turquoise over that side. And I say, because they're from the same collection, the colours all go really well. So deciding where to place that rose cluster and then moving the other one down to the side. It's at this point I decide that I want to go with some more cutouts. So here I am, just picking up. I'm actually going to cut a lot of the finer detail out of this piece. As I say, this isn't the most interesting thing to watch, so I'm going to cut this out in a minute, and then when you come back you'll see that I've cut this out and I've cut another flower out. I actually end up chopping off one of the finer yellow flowers, but that's okay because actually I end up just cutting it out still, but tucking it under the layers, and it looks like they all go together, so that's fine. And as I say, the yellow of those flowers just picks up the yellow of the border strip, and also there's yellow and turquoise in my headscarf that I'm wearing, so that just kind of all picks up the colours quite nicely. So yeah, any minute now I'm gonna go, okay, people really don't want to watch this, and I'll come back and you'll see I've added to the bottom cluster and also that top cluster. Okay, so here you can see that I've also added in some of the Dear Lizzie cameras that I cut out to use on about 3 or 4 layouts ago, and they never got on there. So here I am just cutting the finer one out and tucking those into the floral design. And again, it kind of goes, I'm going to talk about in my journaling about how it's become a tradition that whenever me and my bestie Laura meet up, that we have to take an obscene amount of photos. So yeah, I mean, so we're kind of well known for taking lots of photos. And I'm just going to say, you know, how this was us just meeting up one afternoon, having a coffee and a chat. I've picked out this piece of Maggie Holmes, and it's lots of sort of word strips. So I've just cut the bottom one off there. I was going to lay it across the bottom and start another cluster, but then I thought, no, I quite like the cluster up in that one corner. So you'll see me kind of moving them about, trying to work out where I'm going to tuck them. That little banner says, "You are my fave." So I'm just going to tuck that up under, and even though it's obscured slightly by some of that flower there, you can still read it, and especially close up you can read it fine. And then I pick another one of the words, and that's going to go up in the top cluster. And again, it just adds that extra detail to each cluster. And I mean, realistically, if I'm going to use that whole piece of paper like this, it's going to be in my stash for quite a while, and there's 2 sheets and paper pad as well. Okay, so I'm now thinking about adding my title. I pick out those Amy Tan letters that I used on an earlier layout, but then I find these other pink glittery foam ones. And then I've got these stripy, they are glittered chipboard, and I really love the colours in them. And as I said, there's turquoise in my headscarf, Laura has some turquoise makeup on, and there's turquoise in the cameras, so it all kind of picks up quite nicely. My title is simply going to be Best Friends. I think there's probably about 3 or 4 layouts of us together with the title Best Friends. I know it's not the most original, so maybe next time I scrap us I'll have to be a little bit more thoughtful about what my title's going to be. So I'm just using the 2 different fonts, and I'm sticking at the bottom of the photo. As you see, there's lots of space around this layout. I didn't do a separate cluster, which I normally do. I did think about cutting another flower out and adding it to the bottom, but I actually thought when I add my journaling it will go around the bottom of the layout, so not quite sure what I'm doing here. It might have been on my phone, I do apologise. So yeah, I'm just adding my title to the bottom here. I do move these letters around slightly because I do get a bit of trap space between them. So unfortunately you're going to see me fiddling around with this a little bit. Sorry, yet again, fiddling around. I say that trap space was just really irritating me. And I'm still not 100% happy, so I end up moving down the turquoise letters slightly. Now I'm just going to add, I'm actually using some of the spare punctuation that came on the sheet, so I'm just adding 3 of the glittery dots around each of the clusters. So it's quite unusual for me to not have 3 separate clusters around the page, but I think it works quite well. As I said, maybe on reflection I could have put another cluster at the bottom there, but it works. And I can always add something if I do some journaling after. So I'm just adding the punctuation off the turquoise letter sheet as well. Just trying to work out how best to place those. Okay, not quite sure where that one's going. I think I moved them around far too much. Just trying to make it look, you know, like it's just fallen there and you spend 3 hours trying to place it. So yep, just putting those away, because then they're not great sticky actually. Quite a few of those are falling off the sheet. Thinking, do I need to tuck anything else in there? No, I don't. Just gluing down some of those layers where I've lifted bits up. And then finally I think I'm just going to add some mist to it. Oh, nope, sorry, I actually pick out some tiny little heart, no they're not heart, they're star wood veneers, just to add one of those to each cluster, and I actually add one to sort of bottom there to sort of try and sort of bring in 3, I think because I was missing that other part of the clusters there. So now I'm going to be adding my mist, so I'm just going to add some gold mist over to the top of it. I just want to thank you very much for watching. As I say, I hope you're enjoying some of these layouts, which are a bit different from some of my previous ones that I've done. Sorry, I'm also putting some, it's a kind of turquoise iridescent mist over the top. So I'll put some close-up photos of the layout at the end, and as I said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with more process videos late this week. Cheers, and thank you very much.